stretching wildly.
Imagine buying ringside seats for a magic show. And halfway through, the magician pulls off the hat and it's a marketing meeting. That's what Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis feels like. A headline that prints money, a matchup that prints question marks. Welcome to the most entertaining identity crisis in boxing. Grab a snack. This ride swerves. Here's the plot twist up front. This isn't a rivalry born in gyms. It's a negotiation born in boardrooms. One guy built a fan base by turning every punch into a thumbnail. The other guy built a legacy by turning ribs into accordions. Put them together and suddenly the sport looks like it's cosplaying itself. But before you throw the remote, here's the twist you didn't see coming. It actually tells us everything about where boxing is right now. Let's talk risk versus reward. Real boxing math says you climb the ladder. Prospects, contenders, champions, history. Viral boxing math says you climb the algorithm. Collab, call out, cash out, controversy. Both paths end under bright lights, but one is paved with sparring rounds and the other with engagement rates. Quick question, are we watching a fight or a focus group in gloves? Hold that thought, because the money trail answers it. Follow the dollars and you'll find the script. Promoters love a surefire spectacle the way cats love warm laptops. Networks crave spikes, not slow burns. Sanctioning bodies, if the check clears, the rankings suddenly learn yoga. Very flexible. And that's how we get matchups that make accountants cheer and purists cry. But wait, if you think the business is the villain, here's your second surprise. The fans are the co-author. We click, they book. We meme, they greenlight. If attention is currency, we're the mint. So what does that buy us? Buckle up. Safety check. This isn't a video game where sliders make everyone equal. Tank's power is a real-life spoiler alert. Jake's improvement is real too, but improved isn't seasoned.
Keep messing with that mouthpiece. That ain't good.
Jake, get my fucking money.
There we see Paul with
When a puncher with world-class timing turns experiments into X-rays, the worst outcome isn't a knockout. It's a normalization of mismatched risk. When weight, experience, and ring IQ diverge too far, event becomes avoidance of disaster. And if you've ever whispered, "Bro, stop the fight" at the TV, you know the vibe. Here's where it gets awkward. Even a safe night still rewrites the sport's priorities. Because the second the bell rings, narratives start sprinting. If Jake survives, people scream, "See, he's legit." If Tank detonates him, people scream, "See, this was a setup." Either way, the scoreboard we take home isn't about technique, it's about trending charts. The algorithms don't grade footwork, they grade fireworks. And after the confetti, the hangover. Real contenders wonder why their 10-round wars don't headline. Prospects wonder if they should film call-outs or road work. Coaches wonder when scouting got replaced by scouting views. You hearing that echo? That's the gym culture losing its voice to the studio culture. Let's zoom out. Boxing has always loved a circus. Dempsey had the carnivals, Ali had the noise, Floyd had the luxury math. Spectacle isn't new. What's new is the ratio. We used to get steak with a side of sizzle. Now we get sizzle with a side of influencer merch. And the most frustrating part, both guys are doing their jobs. It's the system that keeps promoting the shortcut like it's the destination. If the road to the top goes through Photoshop, why would anyone jog at 5 a.m.? Time for a gut check. Jake is not a joke anymore. He's a serious athlete with real work behind the scenes, real coaches, real rounds. Respect the grind. But respect the grind doesn't mean ignore the gap. Tank isn't just dangerous, he's calibrated. He reads distance like subtitles. He lands punches that arrive with receipts. You don't shortcut into that level, you season into it. It's the difference between learning to swim and racing Michael Phelps because your pool video hit 1 million views. Speaking of pools, here's the deep end. What if the fight actually happens and it's competitive? Then what? Two outcomes. Either Jake's growth is way ahead of schedule, in which case, salute, or Tank's approach becomes hesitant and weird because the risk-reward matrix is skewed, in which case, don't confuse plot holes for parody. Competitive or not, the real scoreboard is the signal it sends. Spectacle sits at the head of the table now, and the sport adjusts its chair height accordingly. That's the shame. Not a single fight, but a precedent. So what should boxing do? Simple, not easy. Guard divisions with actual ladders. Protect rankings from celebrity shortcuts the way you protect sparring partners from dumb heavyweight challenges. Put rising killers on the same card as the circus and feed them the spotlight, not leftovers. Build episodic storytelling around contenders with real heat. Give us arcs, not just hashtags. Imagine a season format where belts get mandatory dance partners and ducking the prom queen isn't allowed. Sounds fun? It's also fair. And what about us? The people with remotes, thumbs, and hot takes. We vote every scroll. Watch the wars, not just the war rooms. Reward the guys who risk their O against other hungry risk takers. Comment sections run on volume. The sport runs on values. Demand matchups that move the needle and the lineage. Because here's the final twist. Fans saved boxing before. We can do it again if we stop letting the algorithm pick the main event. Lightning round on the actual styles, because yes, we love the chess. Tank's counters are booby traps. He screens your lead hand, then detonates the angle. Jake's jab has improved. He's learned to pour weight through the shoulder, not just push it. Tank compresses range like a collapsing star. Jake likes space so he can see the picture. If they share a ring, geography decides the story. Close quarters, Tank's home, mid to long, that's Jake's only chance to paint. But timing beats distance, and Tank's watch is Swiss. So here we are. The biggest shame isn't that this fight could exist. It's that it can eclipse everything the sport claims to stand for. It sells the movie trailer as the movie. It teaches young fighters to warm up their camera before their shoulders. And it risks turning the sweet science into sweet content. Boxing deserves blockbusters, but the ones built on earned collisions, not algorithm collisions. If you want the sport to cook right, let's set the menu together. Drop a comment with the matchups you'd greenlight tomorrow if you had the pen. Like this, if you're tired of sizzle without steak. Share it with that friend who loves drama but forgot they once loved jabs. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. This channel breaks fights down without breaking the sport's soul. We'll roast the nonsense, praise the craft, and keep your feed honest. Now answer me this in the comments. If you had to choose one mega circus this year or 5 real fights that define the decade, which one are you buying? Your move, champ.